Flávio Bolsonaro is so desperate, but he's so desperate that he already changed his marketing strategist. And his marketing strategist said he needs to remove Bolsonaro from his name. Hi, André, but what do you mean? Yeah, it's Flávio Bolsonaro. So he's going to remove Bolsonaro. He'll just be Flávio. Oh my goodness. Oh Jesus. That's right. Flávio's new marketing guy took Bolsonaro out of his last name and came up with a new slogan to see if Flávio gets better, right? But how can he get better? Does a criminal get better? It's hard to get better, right, guys? Look here, Tico Tico. Oh my! Flávio Bolsonaro's new campaign strategist drops the Bolsonaro name and creates a new slogan. Oh my! There's no saving that. Duda Lima, who took over the campaign's communications with only 11 days left, is the third person to lead the marketing for Bolsonaro's son after a series of crises. So he's the third campaign strategist. Not even a marketer can save Flávio Bolsonaro, guys. Not even a marketer. Aí, look at his slogan, the slogan. He came up with a new slogan. Look at the slogan. Brazil will win. It should be incorporated into the institutional campaign's promotional materials. In materials that circulate internally within the PL, the candidate appears only as Flávio. Bolsonaro was removed. The last name Bolsonaro is left out. And the new slogan, Olga, Brazil will win. Win what? Brazil already won. In 2022, Brazil won. Bolsonaro went to the dustbin of history. Lula was elected. Bolsonaro, he was so bad, he couldn't even get re-elected. Elected, so Brazil already won. Yeah, love is back. Now, what is Flávio going to win? He's not going to win anything. He's trying to convince people that they aren't deeply involved with Daniel Bocaro's mafia. And he doesn't explain what he's been doing. So if someone is going to win, who is it going to be? Please write it down. Don't let me talk alone. Don't let me talk by myself. Write Lula Tetra, for God's sake. For God's sake, as my grandmother used to say, Lula Tetra. And Flávio is going to lose his way home. And what do I think? I think it's not enough, my dear, my dear. But there are more situations here that we are going to see. A Bolsonaro family, part of the Bolsonaro family, will still have to answer for other crimes. Look at what foreign minister and diplomat Mauro Vieira said. Look here. The foreign minister said that the Bolsonaro family should be held legally accountable for high treason and links the clan to sanctions against Brazil. Was the chancellor wrong? The chancellor was not wrong. There is still a debt, and they are increasing this debt, the Bolsonaro family. And when Flávio Bolsonaro can't even find his way home, the Bolsonaro family will be held accountable for this debt. I said it on the live stream today, on today's video, that Flávio cried this weekend, right? And said that this situation will come to an end. He posted a photo of Bolsonaro handing over the presidential sash to him. Only if he stages a coup, because he can't beat Lula. So what we really need to worry about is interference from the United States here. But Flávio can't defeat Lula in the election. And Flávio knows that if he doesn't defeat Lula, he'll go to jail. Yeah, Bolsonaro is already in jail. He's going to jail. And Eduardo Bolsonaro is also going to jail for high treason against the country. Eduardo Bolsonaro is in the final stretch. The appeal deadline at the Supreme Federal Court, which soon his first conviction will soon become final. At that point, officially, he will be a fugitive from Brazilian justice. And he won't be able to leave the United States, because if he goes to any other country, he'll be arrested at the airport. Yeah. In every airport, there's an area there, I don't know if you've seen it, related to immigration that you have to go through that looks like a corridor. Do you know what that is? That place is full of cameras and facial recognition systems. In fact, in that area, you can't even go through wearing a cap, not even a hat or anything. Why? Because at that moment, in that corridor, which is purposely made for you to walk through, facial recognition is used. And anyone who has a court order for arrest is detected right there, and the person is arrested inside the airport. And Eduardo Bolsonaro soon won't be able to leave the United States, just like Alexandre Ramage and others who are fugitives there. And the Bolsonaro family, especially Flávio Bolsonaro, Eduardo Bolsonaro and Alexandre Ramage, will be held accountable for high treason, just like Bolsonaro himself. The diplomat, as Lula's own minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, career diplomat Mauro Vieira said, must be held accountable for high treason. It's not just about the tariff issue, no. There's also the issue that they're inciting, they're trying to put it into Donald Trump's weak fascist head, that he has to attack and invade Brazil and arrest Lula. Why? Because with electronic voting machines, they can't beat Lula. And the Bolsonaro family knows that as soon as Flávio loses, soon there won't be anyone left out of jail. Everyone will be held accountable. Now, of course, if Flávio wins, I rebuke that in Jesus' name. Get out, devil. He will stage the coup. He will manipulate the Supreme Federal Court. He will manipulate the Attorney General's office and do whatever he wants. So the only path they have is radicalization and the coup. Because the path of justice, the path of the Constitution, means prison for all of them for high treason. As Foreign Minister Mauro Vieira himself said, which I just showed you. Look at what he said here. Pay attention here. More specifically, here's what Chancellor Mauro Vieira said. I'm going to make it bigger because it's even hard to see here. Even making it bigger is hard today. Brazilian Chancellor Mauro Vieira stated that members of the Bolsonaro family should be held accountable for high treason and offenses against the nation, by accusing them of acting abroad in favor of measures that, according to him, resulted in economic and diplomatic consequences for Brazil itself. The statement was made this Sunday. Vieira attributed to the Bolsonaros the responsibility for the political maneuvering that preceded sanctions and pressure from the United States. They are responsible for the campaign that led to the sanctions and caused suffering to business people, capitalists, public servants, and workers who are losing their jobs. This was stated by Foreign Minister Mauro Vieira. And I ask you, is Mauro Vieira wrong? He's not. The one who's wrong here, the bum here. The bums and the ones who are wrong here are the traitors to the country, and then they still say they're patriots. Can you believe it, or do you want more? It's not absurd. Let's keep going here. Have you liked the live stream, guys? Like the live stream, my beautiful people. What do you think about searching for my name again? Who said that? Lula grew after the dirty trick. From Javier Milet's support to Flávia Bolsonaro. Javier Millet, you know, president of Argentina. Argentina is in total chaos. Argentina is in chaos. Unemployment, hunger, chaos in healthcare, in education, workers are being treated like they are under the lash. Thanks to the labor reform that Javier Millet did, it's total chaos. We're eating donkey meat there because we can't afford to buy beef. Then Javier Milei was here in Brazil to declare his support for Flávio Bolsonaro, and the two of them with those ridiculous dances. Ridiculous. That's just for crazy people not to think and to join in the dance too, without even thinking, just like the weak-minded Bolsonaro supporters. Then there was a perspective that this actually takes votes away from Flávio. The support of Javier Milei takes votes away from Flávio. Look here. I'm going to make it big, guys. Make it big, André, for God's sake. It's small. Milei's support for Flávio Bolsonaro increases the chance of voting for Lula, according to Instituto de Pesquisa Quest. The Argentine president declared support for Bolsonaro's song during the PL Party convention held in July. And that's Danda, huh? And more votes for Lula and fewer votes for Javier Milei. Look at what it says here. The support of the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, for Flávio Bolsonaro's candidacy for president of the republic increases the possibility of votes for Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, according to the Quest poll, for 34% of Brazilians. The data is part of a new record from the Genial Quest survey released last week. .com.br. So that's how it is. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. Flávio Bolsonaro has so little support that he'll take support from anyone. You know, just to give the impression that he's getting support. But this support, for example, from Javier Milei, is actually taking votes away from him. Then I remember his running mate, right? He chose a running mate just to fill the spot because he had to name one. But most likely, his running mate is so bad that he won't even end up being his running mate. He can choose another, until the 15th. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, and if he's pressuring Michele for that. That's how bad his running mate is, Alfredo Gaspar, who is suspected of rape and is also suspected of misusing parliamentary amendment funds. So I don't doubt it. But why does he need that? To sweet-talk the crowd and make them think he has support in this situation. Meanwhile, vote big, Brazil, manly and womanly. Meanwhile, Daniel Biaki took over the defense of Daniel Borcaro alongside Sérgio Leonardo and requested a meeting with Minister André Mendonça, the rapporteur of the case and the Supreme Federal Court. The new strategy may include resuming plea bargain negotiations, which have already been refused at least twice. Borcaro changes lawyer, requests a meeting with Mendonça, and considers resuming negotiations for a plea bargain. What kind of plea bargain is this, guys? What kind of scam is this? The guy already submitted a plea bargain, but it wasn't accepted by either the police or the Attorney General, Daniel Borcaro. He submitted a second plea bargain, which also wasn't accepted, neither by the federal police nor by the Attorney General. Now he changes his lawyer and goes to André Mendonça to ask for the possibility of a new plea bargain. For his plea bargain to be worth anything, it's actually going to be interesting. The police didn't accept the first two plea bargains, and the Attorney General's office didn't accept them either, right? For this third plea bargain of his to be worth anything, he's going to have to turn in the big bosses, like Flávio Bolsonaro. And if he does that, guess who won't accept the plea bargain? You got it. That's right. André Mendonça won't accept the plea bargain. And so you know what this guy is doing? He's stalling. He's trying to buy time, but he's in jail. He's going to get screwed. Because while he's trying to buy time and stall, the federal police are investigating more and more. Now, we have to keep an eye on André Mendonça. Because, guys, what explains that, for God's sake? Fábio Luninha has already had all his confidentiality protections lifted. Bank, tax, communications, everything. Fábio, Lula's son. What justifies that? And so far, Flávio Bolsonaro hasn't had anything exposed. Not even his records, nothing. And look, the audio demanding millions from Daniel Vorcaro wasn't from Lulinha, no. It was from Flávio Bolsonaro. And up until now, Flávio Bolsonaro hasn't been subjected to a search and seizure. He's already destroyed all the evidence. He's already hidden everything where no one will find it, burned it all. His records were never opened up, nothing. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So, like André Mendonça, for me, it seems like he's protecting Flávio. And he's trying to take advantage of this Lulinha issue in favor of Flávio. Every year, when Lula runs for office, they bring up the Lulinha story again. Then, after the elections are over, they file everything away due to lack of evidence. You can look it up. You can check the votes in the electoral ballots. Every time it's the same story. But now, we have something new. Flávio Bolsonaro is in deep trouble now. And André Mendonça, nothing. He's just sitting there, doing nothing. So, it's very suspicious. I think it's suspicious. Don't you think so? I think it's suspicious. I don't know. We have to keep an eye on André Mendonça. And there's something fishy going on. Or is there nothing going on? I think there are a lot of things going on. And big ones. Right? Meanwhile, the federal police are investigating. They are looking for evidence. They are uncovering several situations. They are investigating, seizing Daniel Vorcaro's cell phones. Up until then, there were 9 cell phones. The federal police were on the second cell phone. And the federal police are finding a lot of conversations. And the possible involvement of Bolsonaro's new minister. Look at that. Bolsonaro's new minister. Who? The communications minister. Bolsonaro's. We already have Flávio Bolsonaro himself mixed up with Daniel Vorcaro's mafia, who still hasn't explained anything. He hasn't accounted for anything, hasn't explained anything. That's why we say he is possibly involved. Because he said he was going to give an account. It's already been 90 days. And he hasn't accounted for the Patavina movie, for the 61 million. Where did the money go? Nothing, nothing. When they asked him, Lulinha, then Lulinha doesn't say anything. He just stands there awkwardly, lies through his teeth. So what happens then? We already have Campos Neto, former president of the central bank under Bolsonaro, who authorized Banco Master to operate as Banco Master. We have the former minister of culture under Bolsonaro, Mário Frias, who is the general director, the executive director of the Pangaré movie. Dark's Pangaré, right? That was it? Says it was Bolsonaro's 61 million. Bolsonaro's movie, Daniel's, Masters, which they still haven't accounted for yet. So I don't know if it was. And what happened? We know. They say it went to Texas, where exactly Eduardo Bolsonaro lives. We have the ministers Onyx Lorenzoni and João Roma, who authorized Banco Master to have access to the portfolio of retirees and pensioners from INSS, where Master also committed fraud. Thousands of people stole from thousands of people. We have Ciro Nogueira, former chief of staff minister under Bolsonaro, who was also targeted in a federal police search and seizure operation and could be in trouble, together with Daniel Vorcaro in the mafia, former minister under Bolsonaro as well. And now we have the former communications minister under Bolsonaro. Look here, okay? Make it big, guys. Make it big. Make it big. Here. Federal police messages show Fábio Faria as a bridge between Vorcaro and Alcolumbre. So, Andrea, yeah, so what's up? What's up? Oh, no. Another of Bolsonaro's ministers, the chief of staff, this is the Minister of Communications. He was a former minister. He was Bolsonaro's Minister of Communications. And according to the conversations that the federal police are finding, he was the one who made the connection between Daniel Vorcaro and Davi Alcolumbre, the current president of the Brazilian Senate. There's even a conversation of his where he asks if Asken, the gastronaut from Switzerland, was going to be at the party at Bacchanal. Yeah, so like, And it seems like he was the one making those connections. As if he were Daniel Vorcaro's agent. Bringing and establishing communication between Daniel Vorcaro and federal deputies and senators. Who? A former Bolsonaro minister. Then we stop to think, right? Who received the money? So, from Daniel Vorcaro's right-hand man doing the campaign. Bolsonaro. We can't forget that, because to me, one thing is connected to the other. Bolsonaro's biggest donor in his 2022 election campaign. In other words, the person who donated was the biggest donor to Bolsonaro's campaign, wanted Bolsonaro to be re-elected president of the republic. Who, André? Fabiano Zettel. Fabiano Zettel is in jail, just like Daniel Vorcaro is in jail. And Fabiano Zettel, Daniel Vorcaro's brother-in-law and right-hand man. Fabiano Zettel was the main donor to Bolsonaro's campaign. He's even Daniel Vorcaro's brother-in-law. He donated 3 million to see if Bolsonaro could get re-elected as president of the republic. What was the interest of the master group? Notably, because their main financial agent, who was Fabiano Zettel, donated 3 million to Bolsonaro's campaign. What was their interest? That Bolsonaro would be re-elected. Then you see all these ministers who are under suspicion. And apparently, they're dirty as hell, with Daniel Vorcaro's mafia. Maybe that already answers your question. In my view, if Bolsonaro had won and had been re-elected, this mafia would not have been eradicated. Banco Master would not have been liquidated, and we would not have discovered this fraud so soon. They would keep stealing, getting into the structures of the National Congress, the Chamber of Deputies, the Senate, the ministries, just as it was already clearly happening in the Bolsonaro government. And this fraud would not have been stopped. We might not even have discovered the INSS fraud, and retirees and pensioners would have continued being robbed. Just like Daniel Vorcaro's mafia wouldn't have been stopped. That's my perception. Or is it all just a coincidence? This former minister in Bolsonaro's government involved in situations like this with Daniel Vorcaro's mafia, is it a coincidence or is it a consequence? For me, there's nothing coincidental about it. For me, it was all planned. This Bolsonaro movie was made with the intention of becoming a money laundering operation to take in dirty money. Or not? Well, who will have to confirm or deny all these situations? Obviously, is the federal police, based on indictment, accusation by the public prosecutor's office, and due process in the Supreme Federal Court. I have my reservations regarding the rapporteur André Mendonça. They're making a big fuss about it. When the election is over, they're going to succumb. They're trying to blame those who aren't responsible to protect those who are. Right, Flavio? And that doesn't explain anything. That's why I tell you, Lula has to win a fourth time. And ideally, Lula should win in the first round and make it 4. To put an end to all this nonsense. Meanwhile, the Superior Electoral Court will rule on it. The AI-generated video used there at PL's convention for Flávio Bolsonaro, using Bolsonaro's image and voice without Bolsonaro's authorization. There are the conventions. The question is this: can artificial intelligence be used or not? Even for lying, because in that AI-generated clip of Bolsonaro speaking, Bolsonaro lied. Because Bolsonaro said that he's a poor, miserable, and persecuted man, basically. And he had due process. The indictment made by the federal police, the accusation made by the public prosecutor's office, and the proper trial by the first panel of the Supreme Federal Court, with full defense and adversarial proceedings guaranteed. So he lied. Here's what we want to know from the TSE. With André Mendonça as vice president of the TSE and Nunes Marques as president of the TSE, will it be possible to lie? Will it be possible to make AI-generated videos full of lies? Because if it's allowed, we'll do it too, right? Because they're doing it. The PL is doing it. Either you get things under control, or it's going to turn into such a mess, such a big mess, that the TSE will lose control. Unless they only exercise control over the left, right? Because it's already looking like that's what's happening. The right and the far right will be able to do whatever they want, freedom of speech. And the progressive and left-wing side, if they so much as blink, oops, they're blocked, right, André? They're blocked, can't go live, they're blocked, can't speak. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this trial. I'll keep an eye on this trial because I want to know. Here, look. The TSE is reviewing an artificial intelligence-generated video of Bolsonaro and will decide the future of deepfakes in elections. The Superior Electoral Court is analyzing the PT's lawsuits against the PL for using a simulation of the former president at the party convention. The decision will establish the legal limits of artificial intelligence in electoral campaigns in 2024. E 24. What will the limit be? Limit for whom? Or will it be without limits? For whom? When I tell you that we need to engage more, we need to be closer and more prepared. I'm not joking. Our fight is against giants. Giants. Hit the like button, like, comment, and share. And let's engage more. And let's talk more. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this situation. I found it interesting. Look here at the debate in Ceará. Humano exposes Ciro Gomes' connection with Bolsonaro supporters. Is he staying quiet about Banco Master and Flávio Bolsonaro? She said it to Ciro during the debate. The governor of Ceará reminded that Ciro is supported by and supports the PL party. And she got into a clash about public security factions during the TV-banned debate. My dear and my darling. Ooh. Ciro, right? He's already bashed the Bolsonaro family in every possible way. There are tons of videos of Ciro Gomes calling Flávio Bolsonaro a thief. Calling Bolsonaro a thief. And now he's like this, to see if he can become governor of Ceará. And he's staying very quiet about Daniel Volcaro's mafia, about Flávio's video. And Mano then really went off. He spoke up. I have a position and I take sides. And you, one moment you're on one side, the next you're on the other. You are being supported by Bolsonaro supporters. You support Bolsonaro supporters. What happened to you, Ciro? And we really have to ask, what happened to Ciro? How did a guy as prepared as Ciro get so lost like that, folks? It's what my grandmother always used to tell me. My dear, it's no use just reading, just studying, my daughter. That's good, but you also have to be smart in the way you think. You have to be smart in the way you think. What she meant was with your emotions, right? You have to be smart intellectually, right? Try to study and all that, but you have to have intelligence. You have to have emotional intelligence, control. And from what it seems, Ciro doesn't have it. That's why he's falling into his own trap. And today, he's allied with the Bolsonaro supporter, the same person he criticizes harshly in several videos out there. That's why I always tell you, my dear, the world doesn't just turn, the world flips over. So be careful. If today you're here, soon you might be over there. Then you fall and fall again. So we have to keep our serenity, humility, and good sense. Which is something Ciro isn't showing he has. Look here, okay? Look at what Eumano said. We on the team that votes for Lula. And you? What about you? You're staying quiet about the allegations involving Banco Master and Flávio Bolsonaro. You're the one who has the captain behind the mutiny in the Senate. You are the one who has a Bolsonarist senator who prayed for Lula to die. Have the courage to stand by your political positions. I stand by mine, said Eumano. And he's not wrong, he's right. Because I always tell you, you can be whatever you want to be. But you have to own who you are. You can't be two-faced. You can't be lukewarm. Otherwise, I will spit you out. Remember that? It's in the Bible. You have to be hot or cold. You have to take a stand and follow through. That's it. Whoever wants to be with you will be. Whoever doesn't, that's okay. You can be right-wing, left-wing, or centrist, and that's fine. But the guy claimed to be left-wing. And now he's allied with Bolsonaro supporters that he used to criticize harshly. There's not a shred of coherence. That's the truth. And it's unfortunate, right? He totally lost his way. Ciro. Let's look at this other story too, which is something we need to talk about and that I want to comment on with you. Because he already went to social media. Dudu Bananinha is playing the victim, right? Look at this. Caixa is auctioning Eduardo Bolsonaro's apartment after missed payments. And obviously, Eduardo Bolsonaro went to social media to play the victim, right? He said he didn't pay for his apartment because his accounts are blocked or whatever, and that he had no way to pay for the apartment. Huh. How is he living in a 6 million mansion over there in Texas? No, hold on. No, let's be serious. How can the guy not afford to pay an apartment installment of 1,000, 2,000, and how much? If he's living in a mansion worth 6 million reais over there in the United States, in Texas. So obviously he went on social media and said that the problem is he doesn't have access to money, that his accounts are blocked and he can't pay. How is he living in the United States, guys? Who's paying the bill? That's the question that won't go away. And back then, during the live streams, I was already telling you guys, look, you have to follow the money. You have to know who's funding Eduardo Bolsonaro. Then we'll get to the bottom of the whole criminal organization. And from all indications, it's Daniel Volcaro's money. The money stolen from Daniel Volcaro is what's funding Eduardo Bolsonaro because they don't account for it. The money, 61 million that we know of, not counting other situations that might come up, it went to the Havergate Fund, which is also in Texas, where Eduardo is living. And who is responsible for the fund? It's Eduardo Bolsonaro's lawyer. And suddenly, an audio recording of Flávio Bolsonaro demanding money from Daniel Volcaro here in Brazil comes out. Man, it couldn't be any clearer than that. And up until now, they haven't accounted for anything. They said they would account for it the following week. As of this week, it's been 90 days that they haven't accounted for it. About the movie has accounts. There's accounting. There's an accountant. There's a financial report. How much came in? How much was spent? How much was paid? How much wasn't paid? How much was received? Where's the financial report? No one comes forward with it. I think now we can understand why Eduardo Bolsonaro, at the beginning of 2025, in March 2025, went to the United States. He abandoned his position as a federal deputy with a salary of almost 50,000 reais to go to the United States. It wasn't to defend Brazil, not for defense, nothing like that. He went to live off a lot of money that's supporting him, including the 6 million reais house he lives in today. And the money, from all indications, is the money stolen from Daniel Volcaro's mafia. Flavio stayed to collect it, and he stayed to receive it in the United States. If that's not what happened, why haven't they accounted for it until now? And Flavio is going to be crushed in the debates. And it won't just be from Lula. It'll even be by the others on the right there. He's going to be crushed. And by then, other things will also be revealed. And we want to know. Right? That's why type Lula Tetra there. Here you don't get away with that here. Not at all. See, you don't get to. That only works on the little sheep who don't even think anymore. Not here. Here is Lula Tetra. Smash that like button. Type, we are the resistance. More than ever. Keep that in your heart. And it's Lula Tetra. No one's going to win by cheating here. And Trump, mind your own business. Take care of your people. Take care of your land, which needs it. You don't get to butt in here. Smash that like button. Like, comment, and share. I will be back soon. Kisses. We are the resistance. Yeah, you want me too, huh? Huh? Are you crying on the live stream? Get lost. Sit down and learn. Cry, you sheep.